Yeah, basically, against Tyranids, due to really good synapse bonuses, you want to split him up, and the only real way to do it is to force him to go up to victory points. So.
Gotcha. Now you've got a nice little combination of your own units here, putting a lot of pain into that Termagant brood there. He's going to have to retreat. I noticed, by the way, Moonsugar immediately got out some Spore Mines right now, too. He's going to be moving those up. But now here you are once again, and it's funny because it feels like your army has been constantly retreating, and yet you're practically threatening a 3-cap right now. Granted, he just capped the southern victory point with his Hive Tyrant, but you almost have complete map control, despite the fact that you've retreated from every battle. I think that's a very, very hard play style to capture.
Well, yeah, basically, in Dawn of War 2, this is what you want to call macro. How you move your army and how you cap. Basically, a lot of people would stop complaining about certain things if they learned to optimize their army movement on the map. So it takes a bit of practice, but the best players can do it instinctively. So.
And oh no, Spore Mines! Spore Mines coming in! Oh god, Spore Mines in a great combination between Spore Mines and the Ravener brood there too. And again, I like. It seems counterintuitive, but I like the fact that you just instantly bailed out of that. You just were like, okay, I don't want to fight that move. You're going to go off someplace else and make him just have to recap all that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of messed up my shuriken placement here. I could have defended the victory point.
Oh, yeah, okay. I can see that. We've got these two little Spore Mines kind of sneaking around here. And so what's going on in your head right now? Is it literally that you're just going to go ahead and attack the southern side of the map now that you just saw him dedicate so many forces to the northern side?
Well, yeah. Basically, I like to do the exact opposite of what my opponent wants me to do.
So if he wants to fight you head on, you're just going to blink away and do other stuff. Really, I got to say though, it's really awesome seeing the Warp Spider Exarch be able to out micro the Hive Tyrant like that. Just the maneuverability and whatnot. Now we've got the fleet of foot Guardians all sprinting up to the north as well.
Yeah. On the other hand, you see how the damage nerfs really impacted him. He does so much less damage than he used to do. So, yeah, I think this is the part where he starts spamming Guardian Shields. I'm not sure. I think people should use it a bit more. Guardian Shields against Tyranids are really good.
Yeah, especially since it seems like almost all of the Tyranid really strong armies comes from that ranged synapse kind of combination of lots and lots of ranged units. I see the double Termagants more and more.
Yeah, well, double Termagants has been a standard since forever.
Yep.
Even though I think Hormagants are really good, especially if you combine them with Catalyst. It's a Ravener Alpha global ability. Their chasing prowess becomes really good, really insane.
Yeah, so you're setting up all of your shields right here in the center. Is this just to kind of like inch your way up to cap the victory point, maybe? Is that what you're working on?
Yeah, definitely. That's the reason I was doing it, because with this kind of ranged lob, well, basically I was trying to bait him to come to me, and you will see that I will move my Guardians back up into the shield. Yeah.
Yep.
But the Hive Tyrant
with
his invulnerability messes up my plans.
Yeah. Oh no! And then the Raveners burrow underneath all of that, knocking your guys back. Some of them away from the shield, some of them not. But right now you're fighting on both sides of the battlefield right now.
That's but I tossed a really good grenade, so.
Oh yes! Oh man, I was just looking down there, but yeah. You just killed a good handful of little guys there with your grenades. Lots of Termagants there. So yeah, amazingly you both retreat, but you managed to inflict a good amount of losses there. That's pretty good.
Yeah, but I took a lot of losses as well, because Guardians are kind of expensive to reinforce. But it's all going according to plan at the moment.
And now you're already going all the way up to Tier 3. That's pretty awesome. So you've been managing to stay on top of the power with this, dealing with just the few units that you have. Now, oftentimes when I see people get Tier 3 so quickly like that, now you have your 3 generators. Are you worried about not having enough? Like, what is your plan going into Tier 3? Are you worried about not having enough energy to buy a big Tier 3 unit, or are you not even looking for that?
I usually never tech to Tier 3 to buy a certain unit. I tech to Tier 3 to open up my options. Sometimes you casted one of the replays where I played against Xanios, and even if when I was Tier 3 I didn't make knobs. I made Stormboys. You know the game you co-casted with Tasker, I think.
Yeah.
I go to Tier 3 to open up my options, and I don't have any problems with backtacking to Tier 1 or Tier 2 units.
Gotcha.
If I decided I need them.
No, that's excellent.
My Warp Spider barely survived. That was a bit of luck.
Yikes! Warp Spider just getting out of there. And now we can see this is the army that Moonsugar really wants to have here. He's got the Venom Brood, he's got the Warrior Brood, he's got all of his synapses just kind of all humming together at the same time. Invulnerable Hive Tyrant just kind of leading the charges. This is where I really started to worry for you in this replay, because I was like, man, it just seems like Moonsugar's army is exactly where it needs to be. Oh, and where is the Autarch? I just saw that calling. Did I miss that? Oh yeah, she was down south.
He has really good map awareness, and he basically dodged it. I thought he was paying attention to the top, where we were fighting our main fight.
Oh, trying to get a sneak Autarch calling on him.
Yeah, but he was paying attention, so it didn't work out as well as I would expect it to.
Yeah, I was just amazed at this point in the replay, because it seems like you have a very defensive army, you know, with the 2 Shurikens and the 2 Guardians who don't normally stand up so well against so much Tyranid forces. But here we have a nice counterattack by you, and this is one of the first of the more aggressive attacks I see out of you this game, where you just kind of charge in head first against the Tyranids.
Yeah, but the Shuriken platform wasn't paying attention to my orders, so it's died.
There goes the Shuriken platform.
I think this was the only squad that I lost, but...
I think you're right. Again, it seems like you're doing a lot of killing in transit here. You're just kind of fighting on the move and kind of trying to do damage on the move. You're like half retreating, but half still fighting. I think a lot of other people might have just boxed their entire army and clicked X to retreat them all, but it looked like you were kind of like semi-retreating, but also still fighting, but also still retreating.
Yeah, I didn't want to make Warp Spiders early, by the way. I opted for Autarch because if you use Guardian Warlocks and Autarch, basically you get a similar kind of effect to Tyranid Synapse, because both offer damage mitigation against range. So basically it was a fight of 2 really tough armies. You see a perfect grenade
That was a great grenade there, knocking back everybody. I was going to say, there's just a lot of really intense micro going on right now. You guys are both microing and counter-microing and counter, you know what I mean? Like he's dodging you, you're dodging him, and just he's countering you, you're countering him. A lot of really good micro going on in this replay.
Yeah, this guy was pissing me off so much in this game. I was cursing all the time.
I think that's like I've come to believe that that's a necessary component to being a very high-level player. Is you have to get angry. You have to really want it and really hate your opponent, at least during the game.
Well, yeah, I basically have sort of a hatred towards Tyranid players and toward Apothecary players. So against them, I curse a lot more than I usually would. But yeah.
But so the net result of that whole battle, where you charged in headlong against a Tyranid player, and it looked like you were retreating the whole time, is that you now have central control of the map. You basically won that fight. It was amazing, but it totally won. It was a very passive style of play, and you really kind of challenged him to react perfectly to you. So I was amazed at the outcome of that. You can see he's countered by coming all the way down here to the south, and unfortunately it looks like he grabbed your Warp Spider down there all by himself.
It was a pretty big blunder on my part, so yeah. I wasn't really paying attention, so when I got out of the building, my Warp Spider teleport was on cooldown, so I couldn't port out of it. So
gotcha.
I lost him. On the other hand, he used his entire army to kill him, so it was a Pyrrhic sort of victory for him, because he lost the top of the maps.
Ah, Pyrrhic victories. I love good word. Good word. I gotta say, you started off by explaining to me that like English isn't your first language, and you speak English better than a lot of English speakers I know, so sounds good. Good vocabulary. And now we see a massive, massive attack coming on through the center, and this is the Tyranid army that everybody is just loathes fighting. You can see you've got the ranged synapse going on, the double devourers, just everybody is just like, that is a perfectly synced up Tyranid army there in one big blob in the middle.
Yeah, basically I wanted to throw Guardian grenades on him, but because the member that was going to throw it got knocked down, it bugged out, so I had to retreat.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
and so now you've picked up your Warp Spiders too at this point. So Warp Spiders, again, just kind of furthering your goal to be maneuverable and harassing, or was there any particular reason you picked them right then?
Well, basically I was floating a bit of requisition and he had a red spared, so...
Hey, why not? Yeah, you know what, actually, I didn't even watch it right then, but at that point in the replay, I was wondering if you were saving up for an avatar, because you were close to like 900, I think.
Well, I didn't want to make an avatar because he was high tyrant. He can basically solo it, and he had a lot of units that could focus fire it, considering that the avatar is an infantry sort of unit.
Yep.
But on the other hand, I wasn't really worried about Carnifexes or Swarmlords because I saw that he had a really huge army.
Oh, massive grenades there! Wow, I'm just amazed. Like, your guys charge in like headlong against this huge Tyranid force. You spike them with tons of grenades and retreat out of there, and it looks pretty effective. Sorry, what were you saying?
Well, I wasn't really worried about Swarmlord and about Carnifexes, so I didn't need to rush anything that could deal with them. Because I saw a really large army, and considering that I was taxing him all the time with losses and that his upkeep was pretty high, and that I was really good at map control in this game, at least, well, if not controlling victory and requisition points, at least with denying him the same ones. And I was pretty laid back. The biggest threat you can face against Tyranids in late game is Lictor spam, supported by Carnifexes or a Swarmlord, and there wasn't any room for it at the moment. So
yeah, we do eventually see a couple of Lictors, I think, but he doesn't really spam them. But you're definitely spot on with that.
Yeah, but man, this guy, I have to repeat it again. This guy was pissing me off till no end. He's really good. As soon as I think that I got some breathing space, it turns out that I don't, and I have to mass retreat, and you see me commenting, expecting a
Swarmlord yet? Where's the Swarmlord? Where's the Swarmlord? Man, okay, so once again, massive fighting going on over the central victory point here. He's just going to stand there and try to cap it right in front of you. Nice looking grenade spikes right on top of the whole army. Oh, beautiful. Similarly, though, he gets a wonderful a burrow there from the Ravener Brood as well. And now we go into this. This is the kind of battle here that I think I find fascinating, where you're not retreating, but you're just intensely microing everything. You know, you're jumping around Warp Spiders, you're throwing grenades, you're dealing with this from multiple vectors here.
Yeah, well, you see that even though I throw grenades perfectly on him, not many units died, because that's how effective Tyranid Synapse is.
Yeah.
It increases the hit points of most units. And if you see this, his army composition is only a tier 1 army, so it's really effective.
Yeah.
Even in the late game, so
what